Lost on the Trail, story by Judy Eberhardt. Scott was so excited to be going on the summer day camp trip to the woods. His group was going to fish, float on a raft, and spend 2 nights sleeping in a tent. All the things boys his age love to do, and no little sister to bother him. After arriving at camp, some of the boys wanted to go with Mr. Allen fishing, and some of the boys went on a raft with Mr. Willard. Scott said he was going fishing. "All of you that are going fishing, stay with me," said Mr. Allen. Tony, Joey, Mike, and Scott were the ones that chose fishing. Larry, Eddie, and Jason wanted to go on the raft. They left with Mr. Willard. The boys gathered up their fishing poles and baskets to hold the fish they were sure they were going to catch. They started down the trail toward the lake. Lake Amber was about a half-mile down the trail. The boys arrived at the lake quickly. However, when they got there, Scott was not with them. "Where's Scott?" Mr. Allen asked the other boys. "He was right behind me," said Tony. "We did move ahead for a little while," said Joey. Mr. Allen became very worried and started shouting, "Scott! Scott!" No answer. Scott suddenly found himself lost on the trail leading to Lake Amber. "I only looked away for a minute," he thought to himself. "How could I be lost?" Scott decided to turn around and go back the way he came. He remembered the direction to the lake was south. He also remembered he had his compass from his last Boy Scout trip in his pocket. He took out his compass and realized he had been going north. Scott started down the trail in the opposite direction. As he did, he yelled, "Mr. Allen, Joey, Mike." Mike thought he heard someone yelling his name and tried to listen closely. Mr. Allen heard it too. Everyone stayed together and headed to where they heard the voice calling to them. All of a sudden, Scott jumped out from behind a tree and said, "I am so glad to see you guys." "What happened?" asked the boys and Mr. Allen. "I was looking at the trees." "I must have made a wrong turn," said Scott. "When I realized what happened, you were gone." "Well, we're here now," said Mr. Allen. "Let's make sure we stay together." "Okay," the boys said and headed back to the lake to catch some fish for dinner. And